got ourselves the first one. I want to wait until either group gets +5, but it looks like what awesome when you hear him as an alliance, as a subtlety rogue. I love that set from Mr. Pandari, by the way. We got Taxi on that team on the Mechanic Strider. We got Feed looking to either get fed, hopefully not feed. We got Kib and we got Unlucky then. So we got an alliance only group as Team 1. As Team 2, is this an alliance only group as well? We got ourselves Alonia coming back as a Feral Druid. We got Fassel straight up going no Ooga Booga mode. I am surprised. Wait, Bolus actually. Wait, that's Bolus. That's Fassel. Oh, Fassel, yeah, Fassel is staying the same. Bolus, I think that's not out of the ordinary. That actually is pretty normal. We got Jesus over on the Alliance, also the human, and we got Naya also, so it's Alliance only. So chat after this one. Let's see if we may be able to get cross-faction. By the way, Awesome just got the biggest damage onto Jesus in the open, and this man literally surviving like Jesus is about tricking out Awesome. My ass, it's gonna be a big remorse when just swirling around, freezing up their bones. Clock of Shadows out of the rogue, trying to escape from the raid from the sleet. Got themselves the hoodie on, trying to cover themselves up from the weather, the elements. Gonna be Jesus trying to see if he might be able to survive the rogue's onslaught. No evasion just yet. It's gonna be IBF as well as the Dark Pack. Silence onto the rogue. Not really sure what you can interrupt. Or silence from a rogue's abilities. I don't think you can even silence like a Cloak of Shadows or anything. Gonna be just throwing down the snowball at him. But Asuma doesn't want to play ball. He doesn't want to see if he might be able to get a big old eviscerate execute onto Jesus. And he doesn't land one. Man, that was a big fatty opener onto the death end of the start. Actually kind of took me by surprise. Gonna be Alonia walking by, thrashing the rogue out the open. The rogue dropping down the resonant onto Alonia. Not gonna be seeing anything out of Alonia except for a Barkskin. Triple cheap shot out of Asuma, who is then gonna rotate evasion. Alonia cannot really counterattack the rogue. Needs to go defensively, trying to stay in bear form, cat form for as best possible. Moonfire, Sunfire, thrashes minus Sunfire are getting thrown at Asuma, using everything they can. Try to see if we can get past the dodges. What is that song, by the way? That's not a bad song, but it does take away from my duels mixes. Alonia trying to see if he might be able to get the big bleeds. Gonna be a full setup of bleeds onto the rogue. Gonna be the rogue with a Shadow Belt. Trying to see if he might be able to turn around the damage onto Alonia. And that's gonna be the rogue looking for the reset all together as I finally get my music up and running. You know how difficult it is to commentate, do the camera work, and do the music all at the same time? My goodness, chat. My goodness, is Asuma going to be able to escape out of this one? Looks like they're still taking down bleeds. Looks like they're still maimed by the Feral Druid, still suffering the wounds in the first place. Is able to get Sabs, bonks on the head for Alonia. Gonna shot to fall. Gonna be the Kyrian burst after. Do they get the crits? Gonna be a quick bark here for Alonia, covering the body with extra protection, the extra tough bark, giving him a little bit extra of endurance. Try to see if they can survive the road. Gonna be them trying to go for as much stuff as possible. Did Alonia just proc themselves a frenzied region while at low health? Or was that just a rejuven to a swift mend? That may have been just a rejuven to a mend. Asuma does not have any bleeds, but does have cooldowns. Looks like they pick it up high early. Does get Alonia out in the open with a kidney shot. Does have a trinket, so Alonia could turn this round onto Asuma. Looks like they're just going to take this opener from Asuma. Not really feeling threatened just yet, as Asuma is unable to get the big fatty crits. Going to be Moonfires. Keeping Asuma out in the open. Quick blind resetting it to Alonia. Going to be a trinket out of Alonia. This time, Alonia needs to be very, very careful with their health. Definitely needs to pre-wall the next stun by the rogue. They're going to have to get aggressive with their defenses or get aggressive with their offenses. Try to see if we can thrash the rogue out, as that is going to be vanished out of Asuma. Trying to make sure they can maybe get an opener onto Alonia as soon as they're out of that bear form. Used to catch the feral unaware in cat. Gonna be Alonia letting himself quick bear form into a fleshcraft, coalescing a full shield around them. Again, without a trick, it could be very, very good situation for the rogue. Could be very deadly for Alonia. It's gonna be a resident trick. It does have a Barksy for it. Is it gonna be enough? The cheap shot against Alonia. Back-to-back visitors coming through with an evasion. Alonia does have a pre-wall here. Trying to see if they may be able to get a clone onto Asuma. Looks like unable to. Cheap shot around her. Yet another clone. It is gonna land. No clock shot is for the rogue. Does have a trick if they really wanted to. Not gonna burn it just yet. Has a Shadow Blade. It's gonna be Alonia potentially get himself a reset here. Leaping onto the rogue with a full berserk. Gonna be big bleeds. Asuma trying to see if they can survive. It needs to give himself a reset if at all possible. Needs to find a way to deal with the shields. Do they have a sip pickup? It doesn't look like they do. Needs to catch a re-stealth in order to gain themselves a shield. Caught a re-stealth for a second. Then absorb. It's gonna absorb a lot of that bleed damage. Trying to go for another Kyrian go. Alonia locked down to get a shot. Cheap shot right. Does Asuma have the fat crit? Needs a crit right here. Does get the crit. Alonia reversing it on him with a Shadow Melt stone onto Asuma with a bite at the end. Closing out the game with the jaws of life. Collapsing around the neck of the rogue. Wall rolling for Alonia in case the rogue had any other tricks up his sleeve to follow. And Tags are going to be up next. Losing out the armor, no more. The Warlocks no longer have the demon armor, so no longer will have the demon armor to deal with the physical damage of Alonia. He's gonna have to get really aggressive. Fear on Alonia, locking him down, gonna ramp up the bleeds. Big death bolt, that's gonna rot Alonia down, and that's gonna be taking him out before the Fairly even gets a chance to recoup and recover. Taxi making sure to take him out. I think we're missing somebody on team 2. We have Balos, we have ourselves Fassel, we have ourselves Naya. Oh wait, actually, no, we're not. No, we don't. Actually, it was Jesus and it was Alonia. They played. Okay. Never mind. I thought they bailed, but they didn't. It's just that how fast the game were. And in the 5 minutes, dampening slowly going to start ramping up little by little. Naya, and it looks like actually Taxi is going to hold on to that intro pet. No, sacrificing it. I am surprised Taxi did not switch it around. Instead of going for an intro pet, I imagine he would play the imp. With the imp, you could dispel yourself out of the paladin Hodge every single time. You can literally dispel yourself while sitting in their stun. Gonna be Taxi, gonna hit with a Hodge. Do they go for a human racial? Potentially. Maybe they decided to go against it. Try to go for the interrupt to deal with Naya. Maybe to potentially interrupt them on cast. Interrupt them on a flesh cuff could be pretty good. They're gonna be slow into Naya. Unless they have a hand of freedom, they're gonna be slowed down for quite a bit. Try to see if they can build up some damage. Definitely gonna have a big response versus Taxi, but will not have a stun to lock him down. Is gonna be able to catch a few flashlights behind the pillar. And Taxi wants to press the offensive. At least he wants to make sure that Naya isn't able to cast for free. Wants to make sure there's a line of sight. The slow on the paladin is just crippling his movement, with the drain life burning and absolutely just expunging that shield of vengeance out of the paladin, really trying to leave him with as less defenseless as humanly possible. Taxi tried to swing around the corner, blind out of the paladin, could have used that blind to deal holy damage unabated versus Taxi, was unable to really land it, did get the auto attacks in. Mordecai sending the paladin in another direction, potentially could be a bubble if they get in a really tight spot. Naya is half health, better be have the finger ready over bubble in case they need it, getting lower and lower in health in case Taxi does anything at all. Looks like not gonna go for burst just yet, boarding away from Pally before he can reconnect, send up another port, trying to make sure there's plenty of distance between the two. The next Hodge could be pretty big for Naya, but that fear runs him in the opposite direction. Shadow Fear from a distance, drained for everything his life is worth, and Taxi wasn't able to rot them away. Can they do the same thing versus Ballas? It looks like Ballas and Fassel already, well, Fassel already always been a Demonology. Ballas switching on to the Demonology gameplay. Ballas have played before Demonology as well as other builds, but I think for Warlocks right now, Demonology is a better spec because you're as what is it, as a affliction, as a destruction, you no longer have the demon armor with the armor increase to make it tankier against physical damage. But for Ballas, you're getting 10% more stamina that you never had before. This is the bonus, or yeah, 10% stamina that normally like Destro and Affliction have been able to use with the demon armor. So you're just getting bonus stamina, and you got that soul leech, or you got soul link with your pet. So pet is like what, 20% DR constant, which doesn't matter at all. Taxi's taking a bit of damage. These demons are actually really coalescing around him. No stun by the Felguard just yet. Gonna be the Dark Lake joining in. Massive drain by Taxi, using all those pets to drain all his health back up to full. Ballas does go for the Aegis Trinket with a Dark Pack. This is still taking damage from the Dance of Dark Lake. Absolutely just rapture right through him. And Ballas still ticking out, still rotting away, withering away in front of eyes. And Darkness swinging around the corner, trying to get some zaps. Going to be reflect from Ballas, but no, can't really reflect the dots that are already on him. Trying to use the port to maybe catch up Taxi, but it's just letting those dots rotting away. It looks like Ballas does catch a Mortal Coil. It's going to be Demon Dog Illustrated versus Taxi. Still, the dots are getting him lower and lower in health little by little. Looks like Taxi does need to go and reset up those dots back into Ballas. Stun around the corner. Ballas trying to go for a fear, trying to get some back-to-back CC onto Taxi. That fear is going to hold on as the Dark Pact is protected. Taxi making those damage, not really break the fear all that easily. Ballas, does he still have dots in here? He still does. What is it, a corruption or an agony? I think it's just going to be over. And that's going to be it. The dots have done the work. Taxi just let it happen over time. I don't really know if Taxi was trying to do it on purpose or it just ended up being that way. Like, was he trying to really rot him down with dots to just hold his CDs or something? Or was he just like, well, I already have dots on him. It looks like he doesn't have a way to catch up to me. So I guess I just win by default. Hopefully Fassel is here. Hopefully we're not going to see like an actual, like an AC. Because so far Taxi has had a hell of a game. I want to see if maybe Fassel can disrupt that momentum. Taxi is giving him the opportunity to return. But is Fassel here? And it looks like, I think he might not be there. Taxi's giving him another minute. Maybe like at the 10-minute mark if he's not back by then. Yeah, like if you put some dots and if the dots just do him in before he comes back. Maybe deceive, maybe away from computer. Yeah, I can't even get mad. Like Taxi bursts on him, I literally can't even get mad. Right? The show must go on. We gotta get more duels up and running. Taxi just wants to get more games in there. And Taxi does get at least, what, 2 kills, I want to say? It's going to count as 3. Barely 3? Wait, he killed the rogue and he killed the rest of them. Fassel doesn't count. 3 kills for Taxi. Rotting this boys away. Let's get another one up and running, boys. Yeah.